Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Adele Borges, and I am Director of Channel Management at Pearsoft. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to showcase some of our product features this morning, specifically around the PunchOut catalog feature of our workplace product. I'd first like to start out by letting you know that we have a series of these planned channel partner enablement webinars over the course of the next few months. So please be on the lookout for further invitations to subsequent partner webinars. These are specifically for partners and for the purpose of highlighting our products and our features to make it easier for you to understand and position these products with your client base. I also want to let you know that for attendees who are joining us today, we will be sending out, as promised, an email with a lunch certificate for you. Again, it is a lunch and learn webinar, so we want to make sure that we follow through with providing lunch to you. Look for an email from our vendor, Sendoso, where you'll be able to choose from one of several lunch options. With that said, for today's webinar, I will be handing it over to Janet Martin. Janet comes from Workplace, where she has dedicated several years and has a full in-depth understanding of products and product features. And she will be taking us through the PunchOut catalogs for today's webinar. At the end of the webinar, we will have an opportunity for any questions that you may have, and I encourage you to submit those via our chat. So that said, Janet?
Thank you, Adele. Hello, everyone. My name is Janet Martin. I do see some familiar names as well as some new ones, so thank you for participating in our first partner education series. As Adele said, before we get started, just please check out that chat box, enter any of the questions that you may have, and then at the end of the session, we'll go through and get as many of those answered as possible. For those that are new to Pearsoft, Pearsoft owns a suite of products from procure to pay, expense management, document management, and OCR software integrated to many ER platforms listed below. Today, we're going to focus on PunchOut. What is a PunchOut catalog? A PunchOut catalog is an e-procurement solution that provides access to the supplier's catalog from the vendor's website interface. When we connect our PunchOut suppliers to our workplace procurement system, we're shopping in real time from that vendor's website. We have that ability to visually see what that item looks like, the vendor catalog item number, description, unit of measure, and pricing, along with stock availability and shipping time. PunchOut is not ER specific and is used in conjunction with our workplace requisition module within our procurement suite. Our key purchasing features: by ordering through a PunchOut catalog, we eliminate the ability to order discontinued items, out of stock items, items that are not within the budget guidelines, and those needs for PO change orders. We are in turn giving our procurement team more time back in their day to allow them to perform the job that they're good at, negotiating better payment terms, discounts, and freight charges, which in turn reduces the overall cost of those items. This is a huge selling point for this product, as we often forget that procurement can make money for the company as well. PunchOut provides many other types of benefits. Sorry about that. Lower overall procurement and organization costs. Sourcing and pricing is done up front, and that allows the purchase order, receipt, and invoice to tie together seamlessly. It keeps purchasers by suppliers under procurement's direct control. These are preset by purchasing to ensure we stay within the guidelines that procurement has set, along with some quick reports and metrics. At the end user level and procurement level, we have many other additional buying benefits. Faster order processing. As soon as the requisition has gone through that approval process and reviewed by purchasing, the purchase order is transmitted back through the PunchOut integration, and the vendor immediately receives that order. It reduces data entry errors since all the items and its information are transferred directly from PunchOut. There's no manual typing into the request. This eliminates those typos and missing information. It provides a familiar supplier interface to the end users, our shoppers, as everyone is pretty familiar with shopping online, so end user training is easy and less costly. Why are vendors offering PunchOut catalogs? It's pretty simple. PunchOut offers significant benefits to those suppliers as well. They get paid in a more timely manner. They can maintain better control over their inventory and improve customer retention. In fact, we are seeing here at PearSoft our current clients seeking out vendors that participate in PunchOut. Forrester predicts that B2B e-commerce transactions will reach $1.8 trillion by 2023. And more large global and government sector companies are demanding that their suppliers offer PunchOut catalogs because they too have recognized the tremendous amount of cost savings that PunchOut provides. Down below, here's some of our top ones that our current clients are using. There's many PunchOut catalogs being offered by vendors. It's not really specific to any types of industries. There's many of them. Amazon being the most popular nowadays by setting up what the customer is basically setting up an account and signing up with their PunchOut catalog. How does it work? Very few clicks when using the PunchOut catalog. We're going to select the PunchOut vendor from our requisition function, which is on our dashboard. We're going to shop on the vendor's website, view real-time inventory availability, place all of those desired items into the PunchOut shopping cart. Upon checkout, all the items that we selected are transferred to Workplace. Items are transferred into the requisition entry screen to submit for approval. Once that requisition goes through all the normal approval workflows, it then moves over to purchasing. Once they've approved and ordered it, those purchase orders are automatically sent back to the vendor through that CXML PunchOut file. Let's go ahead and see that in action. I'm going to change screens here and move over to our Workplace screen. And here as an end user, I'm going to be able to see all of my PunchOut catalogs here right on my dashboard. Simply going to click on the desired catalog. And just like I was shopping at home, I'm going to start looking for items that I need to enter for approval. So I'm going to start, let's just get some office supplies. Select some file folders. I'm going to simply click on it. Here I can see the amount, the quantity. I also can see when it can be delivered. I'm going to click on Add to Cart. I'm going to go back. Let's get something simple. Let's get some pens. simply click on that and add that to my cart as well. You can see those, how many come in a box, so that fits into that unit of measure and when it can be delivered. I'm going to add to my cart, continue shopping, and when I click on my cart, I can make changes. I can change quantity. I can still delete it. I can go back and continue shopping. I'm simply going to submit these for approval. And when this populates into our workplace requisition screen, it's brought all of that information in. Here's the vendor item number, that description, our quantity, unit of measure, and price. As an end user in my security, I've already been assigned a department and my shift to. I can change this if needed, and I have security access to do so if I'm ordering for another location or another department. With that tight integration to the ERP, the vendor number has populated here. I can see who that vendor is. And in my case, I defaulted in a GL account. If I'm the end user and I'm responsible for coding this to a GL account, I can simply click into this box. If I know the GL account number, I can start to type it. If I don't know, and I can use the description to get that return value. Once I have all of my items here on my requisition, I can continue to add other items. I can also go back out and shop a different PunchOut catalog. The requisition is not specific to a vendor, so I can have a mix of different items and different types of vendors on one requisition. I'm going to go ahead and submit this for approval. It is going to follow the normal workflow set up either for this user department, could be by the price, it could be multi-level, so it could have many different options out there as far as approval routing rules. Today, I've made this so it's automatically approved. Once a requisition is fully approved, it generally moves over to our procurement team. Our procurement team is our final set of eyes on the requisition, making sure that these are the items that we want to purchase from this particular vendor. They do have the ability to change items, price, vendors. In this case today, I'm going to go ahead and just click on order all, pretty fine with this, and click on process. And currently right now, it is assigning a purchase order to this requisition, and it's automatically transmitting all of this information back to Amazon. It is a CXML function that is available. Amazon now has this order, and then we also created a PO in Workplace, and now this PO is ready to be receipted and invoice matched. I'm going to go back to my dashboard, kind of open up a couple different areas here. Under my purchase order, I have the ability to see purchase order status by vendor, along with some other reports here. But this is a really good way to kind of check to say, hey, who in our organization is ordering from Amazon and what are they buying in one simple report. I also have that same ability for some quick reports inside of Workplace by simply going on to Find Requisition. In my Find Requisition, I have the ability to pull requisitions by many different fields in Workplace. In my case, I want to see everything that's been ordered through Amazon. I can also put in some date requirements in here and search. Oops, when you spell it right, let's start there and search. And now it's populated with all of those requisitions from Amazon. I can export this out to Excel relatively quickly. And once that is populated, I have all of those departments, users, what has been purchased, and I pretty much just created my own report on the fly. And I'm going to go back to our presentation. Some of the clients that are using PunchOut today are listed here. It's just a handful. Some of those may be clients that you recognize that we partner with together. But as you can see, it's not industry specific. Broad list of clients in very many different industries that are using PunchOut today. So we're going to move over to our Q&A. And let's go ahead and open that up and see what type of questions that we have.
Thank you, Janet. So again, I encourage anyone with questions to submit those via the Q&A feature of the webinar. And it looks at this point like we have one question. And the question is, how many existing workplace customers use PunchOut catalogs?
It's a great question. Currently, right now, about 30% of our customers that are using the procurement are tied to a PunchOut vendor. But we do have several clients that have more than one vendor. So, you know, the healthcare organization, they have several out there that they're using all. We have some of our IT specialty industries that are using like CDW and Amazon. So there's pretty much a wide variety. And I think really within the past year and a half with, you know, our health crisis, more and more vendors are engaging with the PunchOut feature. So as we're seeing those kind of being set out and sent out to those customers, customers are coming back and adding additional PunchOut vendors or asking for a demonstration to see how it works with Workplace.
Perfect. Thank you. So the next question, what is the target profile and size, for example, number of employees or spend amount for a company to cost justify the PunchOut offering and pricing? I
don't believe that we've run statistics on that, but that's a great question and something that we should really work with marketing and our sales team to get some more information. Because with Workplace, we have clients that are, you know, they have 20 users all the way up to, we have clients that have 2,500 users. I think it's really going to depend on how many purchase orders are we creating and are we seeing the same vendors over and over, where we're having to go out to those vendors and continuously asking, hey, is this the right item number? Hey, you know, what's the price of this? Or has this been discontinued? So it's going to come down more to the sourcing and the amount of purchasing that we're doing to get that justification of how easy, as you've seen, very little clicks and putting that information into the requisition and not having to look up item numbers. Oh, it's 12 in a box, not 1 in a box. So I certainly don't want to order 12, you know, or I'm going to end up with 144. So pre-setting that, but I really think if we're looking at managing and helping purchasing, even to let's just say we have an organization that they have many locations, and people in Michigan are using Staples, and people in Texas are using Office Max, and people over in California are buying from Office Depot. If we kind of settled in on one of those vendors and said, this is going to be our punch out for suppliers, no matter what location that you're in, and we're putting all of our dollars kind of into one basket, and we are emphasizing this is our supplier for all of our office supplies, think about how much of a return of investment that we're going to actually get back from that. We're going to be ordering more, so maybe they're going to give us, some better pay term discounts. Maybe we're going to get some free freight. So really kind of, I'm not sure if it's very specific to how many users. I think it's going to come down to what are we buying, what can we simplify, and that's where procurement's going to come in and make their company.
Okay. We have another question in queue, which is PunchOut Offering available for companies outside of the United States?
There are. So we do have some companies in Australia that are using PunchOut. We also have PunchOut that is being used in Canada. So when you set up those catalogs, so just to kind of take a step back there, when I'm interested in PunchOut, I first want to get with my vendor and see if they are PunchOut enabled. It's an industry standard term, so it's not just something that we're calling PunchOut. It's industry specific. So if they are, they're going to set up an account with you. Some of the vendors will put in and create these PunchOut catalogs just to what you want your end users to see and select. So, and normally when that occurs, there's some currency exchange rates in there possibly. I'm buying it, for euros rather than USD. So they will set all of that up in the catalog. So that's a conversation with maybe partner, client, and vendor to get that information for the setup and configuration.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, we are coming up on our allocated time here. And so I wanted to end by, again, thanking all of you for attending and also letting you know that in follow-up to the webinar, we will be sending out a recording of the webinar to partners who were not able to attend, and also to those of you in attendance today. For those of you in attendance, I will remind you that you should look for your lunch certificate via email later this afternoon. We will be sending that out. And we absolutely invite you to and look forward to your participation in future webinars. As I said, we expect to have a monthly webinar series moving forward. So please be on the lookout for email notifications regarding future webinars for partner training. Thank you again for attending today's webinar.